Blessed love Rastafari, Sister Naya, Rassimian, Maxima. We are balanced out every little thing around here. Such a significant day. Oh yes it is. 85th coronation, you know, to see our mother and father sit up upon the throne in a righteousness, royal majesty. You know, I say Emperor Haile Selassie alongside Empress and take a meaning. What a vibration. We are saying to the family, right about now, it is a upward and an uplift. You know, we said, one another. Because this is what we need to do. So we rise up steady, bung up, we all my hygiene do, you know, we're proud of my hygiene. But there he go establish himself upon the motherland, Mother Earth. So, family, they are represent with mother and father at all times. We say, blessed love Rastafari. Talk to the microphone.
Blessed love Rastafari.
One again.
Haile Selassie the first.
One again.
Exit the bear, the mighty God of old. Perfect, perfect. Rastafari. Give thanks. Hon.Priest Isaac in your presence. Galaxy Radio, Niko Royal, live and direct. Selassie.
One again.
Give thanks continually.
Yeah.
Rastafari.
So you listen to one. Come up to one piece.
Live and direct with Niko Royal, you know. Galaxy Radio, London, England. Rastafari.
Second of November. 85th coronation.
Yes,
Emperor Haile Selassie. Empress Tegemenen. We welcome on this beautiful sunshining day, Priest Isaac, Haile Selassie, our first son.
Give thanks, my Lord. It's a great honor to be in the high presence again, you know.
Likewise.
The mighty Niko Royal, royal sons and daughters of the Almighty God, you know.
Yeah.
And give thanks, you know, enough respect to Galaxy Radio. Of course, you know, Galaxy Radio specifically just rated and voted #1 community radio.
Me, if I tell you.
Yes, I specifically, and as the people are even watching us, even going through, you know, international community, this is the award here. It's a 5-point gold star there, you know.
Acknowledgement.
Give thanks for the strength and all the works that, you know, all the brethren have been doing over the years here at Galaxy Radio, London, England.
Thank you.
Yes, yes. Give thanks, my Lord, again for being in your presence. As you said, this is the 85th anniversary of the coronation of our father and mother, you know, the father and mother of Africa, Namawe Haile Selassie the first. As you said, Etege Menin, Waziri Menin, you know, the mighty Empress of old, you know. So we give thanks for such a day of remembrance, the 85th anniversary of the coronation of Haile Selassie the first. And what may stand out there, you know, that some people may not get a drift of is that 85th, my father, my literal biological father, he passed on, you know, a few years ago, just about 4 years ago.
Blessed.
Yeah, and he was 85 at the time. I'm telling you straight. He had me at the old age. Eh? But the point I'm making is that 85 is not a big number. What I'm trying to say, there are people that I know that are 85 now. I know people that are 95. I know people that are 101. That means the coronation of Haile Selassie is not no long time story, you know. Some Bible days and once upon a time business and fairy tale. We're talking about something that we can even put in a DVD and watch it.
Yes.
And say, look, it happened here. And Time magazine at that year rated Haile Selassie as the man of the year. You know, 72 colonial nations. I mean, people that had black people in slavery at the time. You know, the colonial masters of the Congo, the French and the British and the Belgium, all these people that were enslaving the melanated people of the world. All of them came to Ethiopia. King George, representative, was the first to come and bow down to the black Ethiopian emperor specifically on this day, the 2nd of November 1930. So, you know, we as black people, we need to at least pay homage to these things, you know. I mean, this is not religion I'm talking about. Up to now, I never said the Bible said, you know. This is just reality. This is the truth. This is history that people have, you know, literally kept out of the schools and kept out of the ears of the people that should know. And I must say, this is very heartbreaking at times, but it's not my heart is going to break, because my heart cannot be broken. But the point I'm making, that the reality is, Haile Selassie I is such an integral character in the history of black people and in the history of the world. When we understand what really took place in 1936 when Italy attacked Ethiopia, we must understand, as I said again, it is all the African countries that went under the colonial grip at one time or the other. Italy tried in 1896, and they were defeated hands down by the mighty and great Menelik II at the Battle of Adwa, who sent Crispy and his army running. And they returned now after 1929. Remember, in 1929, you know, the government of Italy and the Holy and the so-called Holy See made a pact they call the Lateran Treaty. This is 1929. This is when the Vatican now officially became a city-state. The Vatican wasn't always a city-state, you know. This just happened again just the other day, 86 years ago. Follow this go, you know. 86 years ago, the Vatican that you know as the Vatican today came into existence. And the Pope of Rome literally became an absolute monarch. He was not an absolute monarch before, but he became an absolute monarch in 1929. How mystic this is. Just the year before, Haile Selassie I was crowned Emperor of Ethiopia. And it was the same Pope of Rome, Pius XI, who was the Pope at the time when the Vatican became the Vatican. He was the Pope that blessed, well, I should say cursed, the bombs, specifically of Mussolini, to go and invade Ethiopia specifically.
Real talk. We're glad for the complain now. The eye is not a stranger to it. The eye is a Rasta man.
Rastafari.
And the Rasta man is a man that declare himself. Yes, unlike most of these African men nowadays. You know, they find it hard to declare themselves when them in the Western region.
True, God. Give thanks and praises, you know. Well, as I said, you know, it's just all about one's understanding or comprehending or overstanding or inner standing. You know, it's an inner standing time now, you know, to stand within and see what's going on. To understand exactly what is taking place in history. This is the part of history that has been purposely left away from us as melanated people or as black people. And this is why, you know, as I said, my good brother, I just did a brand new DVD documentary entitled The Master of Ceremony.
Yeah, quite interesting.
Yes, and it goes into the divinity of Kadamawe Haile Selassie I. And I know when the ones would hear about divinity again, because we've been so brain scrubbed. I know you're the only the brainwashing station.
Yes.
But our people, boy, I don't know if it's just brainwashing alone, but like some brain scrubbing, real scrub out. But the point is that when we hear about divinity, somehow we think it's religion we're talking about. I'm a divine being. I definitely am not a religious being. I'm a spiritual being. I'm a spiritual man, you know.
Yes, indeed.
And this is why, as you just mentioned a moment ago, brethren, some of us as Africans, it's as if we're afraid to declare ourselves. You know, I cannot see how, listen. We got to admit this, my brother. I held my thoughts there a moment, because what I'm going to say is something that touches me,
Yes.
But you see, I respect all our scholar warriors. I mean, I'm looking at a cassette on the table here, Dr. Ben Yosef Yokanan. I love Dr. Ben tremendously. Dr. Henry Clark tremendously. I mean, all of our great scholars from Astroquazi, whoever it is, down the line, you know.
Yes.
Tremendously, and even from the days of old up to this time, tremendously. But I must say, I find it very queer that the knowledge of Haile Selassie the First, with all the knowledge and rich African history that has come to us, my Lord, even when we were coming into this, all the books we were reading outside of J.A. Rogers, who I refer to as Ja Rogers, who wrote extensively on Ethiopian Haile Selassie I. Outside of him, I must say I've never seen any of our warrior scholars from that time even to this time go into, in any depths, Haile Selassie I. And when they touch him, I must say, even the same Dr. Ben and Dr. Clark, who I love tremendously, nobody can tell me nothing. I love them to my heart. You don't love them more than me. I respect Dr. Ben to the T. But even Dr. Ben, when he speak of the king, is dissing the king. You check what I'm saying. So to me, it's a shame that the greatest of them, I mean, as I said, when Haile Selassie I addressed the League of Nations, my Lord, I'm talking about all the African countries have gone under colonialism. Only one was remaining, and that was Ethiopia. When Haile Selassie left Ethiopia to come to these lands here, even some of the elder chiefs spoke against the king and said he was a coward, and said he left the land and, you know, he went into exile and so on, so on. A king was not supposed to leave the battlefield. And do you know, by right, you know, man, a king not supposed to run away from the war, you know. But they did not understand. If he didn't do that, Ethiopia would have never kept its independence. When Haile Selassie addressed the League of Nations, you know, remember he clearly told them, you know, the spark that was put in Ethiopia shall burn throughout Europe. And then World War II engulfed Europe. All of that time, Haile Selassie I already went back to Ethiopia, and Mussolini was already dead. As I said on another program, he was killed by his own people right there in Milan Square, you know. And then now, the transformation that came to Ethiopia, that's why at that time Ethiopia was referred to as the most ancient and modern kingdom. John F. Kennedy, you know, when John F. Kennedy welcomed Haile Selassie I in 1963, John F. Kennedy clearly showed the world specifically that we have a man here that in a short space of 10 years have freed more people. It's like a miracle. He actually said, no, I can assure you, Your Majesty, these are his exact words, I can assure you, Your Majesty, that no visitor or guest that we shall receive in this country shall give us a greater sense of pride and satisfaction as your visit here today. Your Imperial Majesty, you are most welcome. That's John F. Kennedy. Within a month he was dead, my Lord. Dead. You know. So
yes.
the point so the point I'm making now, and this was during the time when Haile Selassie I organized the Organization of African Unity, the OAU, in 1963, when he brought all the independent African countries under one head. The first time this was ever done in thousands of years. And listen to that, all the independent African countries, how on earth did they get independent? When Italy attacked Ethiopia, nobody was independent. But when Haile Selassie I defeated Italy, and the League of Nations was crushed, and they invented the United Nations, with his shrewd diplomatic strategic ability, Haile Selassie I was the forerunner in the independence of Ghana, no matter what they try to tell you. Kwame Nkrumah, another brother who I embrace with all my heart, he is not the father of Africa. And there's nothing wrong with me saying that. And as a matter of fact, Kwame Nkrumah would admit that himself. He is not no father of Africa. Haile Selassie I is chiefly responsible for the independence of Ghana, Togo, Uganda, all of them.
The unification.
The unification. And even down in the Caribbean islands, Jamaica and Trinidad, and then it trickled down to Barbados and all these islands that gained their independence. Even in Antigua, my Lord, where I was born. Yesterday they celebrated Independence Day.
They would never make me speak on that event because they know I'm going to tell them we would be celebrating no independence if Haile Selassie the First, you understand, was not sitting on the throne in 1936 when Italy attacked Ethiopia. We need to understand history and put it in place. Because Mussolini and Hitler had concentration camps where they were taking black people, not just Jewish people, you know, black people, and skinning them and using their skin for boots. So if these killers did conquer Ethiopia in the way that they wanted to conquer Ethiopia, and the whole of Africa would have been totally conquered now, what do you think would have happened? Haile Selassie the First is a divine being that came amongst us at a critical time when our demise was imminent.
Give thanks to Priest Isaac, you know, being here, right here on Galaxy Radio, the only deep brainwashing station. 2nd of November, a day to remember, for real. And we are saying, Bingy, I go on a Fenwick Hall.
Yes, my lord.
Clapham North.
Tell them.
And that is a 128 Wellington Road, SW9. And it's all happening right now. It's happening right now.
Well, it should be starting about 8 o'clock.
3 o'clock, 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock.
Afternoon up until 10 p.m. Tonight.
Yes.
And it's 5 minutes from Clapham North Tube Station. Parking available. Yes, a Bingy. When I say, one more time, Fenwick Hall, Clapham North, 128 Wellington Road, SW9. It's all happening from 3 p.m. this afternoon till 10 p.m. tonight, this evening. So, right about now, we have to express ourselves natural because we there represent with mother and father. And not go before with mother and father. I don't see nothing. I don't see nothing in this world. Go before I know mother and father of Iracia. What me say? Me say, Mother Nature, me say Mother Africa, me say Mother Earth. So what's the complaint? When we look on the earth, we say the whole of mama, the whole of the earth and mama. So where daddy there? Where daddy there? Alright family, here we are. Where daddy there? Over the mountain. Daddy had the fire.
Daddy had the fire.
You see what I'm talking about?
Yes, my lord.
You see it? Daddy that, you know.
The fire.
The car. You can feel it.
Yeah, I like the heat.
Daddy. Daddy said open up your mouth, I see.
The breath.
Daddy said open up your mouth and I see.
I hear.
You know, because Daddy said be not, I am. You understand? And then when the sun shines now, the people them start move. Because they look out at themselves with the fire within their eye.
True, my lord.
They might look for the galaxy without what it's within.
The galaxy within.
Yes! And that's the whole establishment them are. What they might look for. You see?
As above, so below. Yeah, give thanks for the moment there. I run this.
Yeah, man, the vibration.
Praise the Lord of Haile Selassie the First.
Yeah, man, truly.